watching them, just really how they interact in the building. But then, like I said, there's such a familiarity. If you think, man, gosh, I forgot to cover that in a meeting, you go out there and he goes, oh yeah, I got it. So he remembers a lot of that stuff. And for a coach, it's awesome to have, a guy that can help a lot of people out there.
What could he do for you in the RPO game?
A lot. If you watch him run, you're like, man, I don't know how fast he is, but he doesn't get caught. He is a smooth. He just kind of glides. He can stretch a defense. He's a really good route runner. He's highly intelligent. So he understands where he needs to be, when he needs to be there relative to quarterback timing and spacing. And as a receiver, that stuff you can't coach.
Luke seemed to indicate he really likes him with the 50-50 balls and he's big-bodied and all that. Does that open up in a quarterback's mind a little bit more like, yep, I can go there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially for a quarterback, wherever he feels like he's got some confidence, and that's what I tell these guys. Hey guys, like when that guy gets back there, he's got to have confidence to say, okay, that kid's over there, or that guy's over there. Like I can throw it to him and he can go get it. That's what practice is for. Practice is for you to build confidence, not just in the coaches, but in Luke and Donovan and the quarterbacks. Say, hey, look, I got to show that guy he can trust me. And that's what we try to stress in the room.
Hit the spring with Malik and Canary, obviously going into bigger roles. How have they kind of parlayed that into the fall? How have you seen them kind of progress?
Yeah, they've done great. All those guys in that room have worked really hard. Malik seems like he's got a renewed focus and a renewed mission, and the same thing with Canary. I think those guys know, hey, look, it's time for us to step up. It's time for us to make some plays, and they've done a good job of attacking the summer, and then also, they've put themselves in a position to be able to help us this fall.
Coach, how is the recruiting side of being here going for you so far?
Awesome. It really helps when your head coach recruits as hard, if not harder, than all the assistants in the room.
Okay.
So Coach B does a great job of making sure we're hitting these guys up. It's just different. I don't really know how to say it, other than it's in a good way. It's just this is my first time recruiting in the Midwest a lot. And I'm really enjoying it. I love the kids. I love the coaches. I love the style of play up here. But we have a really good recruiting staff.
Okay.
And our staff recruits really well. And then obviously, when your head coach recruits harder than anybody in the building, it makes it easy.
Did you figure there'd be an adjustment to the Midwest, like it would be some different kind of? Maybe what are those adjustments you have to make?
Yeah, one, you've just never been in the area before.
Okay, sure.
And that's the hard thing is you want these coaches to believe in you and to believe what you're telling them, and that stuff's done over time. I spent so many years in Texas and in the Carolinas and in Georgia and Florida, and those guys know me, so I'm just trying to build those relationships here. But recruiting's recruiting, if you can recruit one state, you can recruit another. But just building the relationships and letting those coaches know who you are.
Okay.
And that way they can show them that this guy means what he says and backs up what he says. That's what you're trying to do.
What's your number one selling point when it comes to getting kids to come here or be interested in here?
One is the Big Ten.
Okay. That's number
really,
one.
when you look at it, it's the Big Ten and the SEC are the two major conferences now. And then I think our head coach, guys had 55 players drafted, and there's 9 first-rounders. And it's not just defensive kids.
Sure.
So when a kid knows, hey, they want to know, can my position coach make me better?
Okay.
Can he develop me? Does the system fit what I do?
Sure.
Right? And then how can my head coach help develop me as well? I think we check a lot of those boxes for wide receivers, and there's nobody in the country, head coach-wise, that has developed as many guys as our head coach
Sure.
and Coach B. So that's what I love about it is I know he's going to recruit harder than anybody, and I know he's going to take time to develop those relationships.
So that comes up early in the conversation.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the first things I talk about is Coach B.
The slot competition, you get Mario back. What have you seen from him and Hank and Canary? How they all kind of compete?
Yeah, the one thing with Mario's done a good job of really entrenching himself in the offense this offseason. He's lining up faster. He's moving faster because he's not thinking about anything. He's just playing. So I'm really proud of Mario. Hank Betty is just, that guy is the standard of what we want here at Illinois football. He works hard, literally doesn't talk, shows up every day and gives his best. And then Canar's doing well too. So we have a really good room in that aspect as far as slots.
Your first go around as the receivers coach here, and what's it been like first, fall camp, and what are your impressions on the job and just the receivers as a whole?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit cooler here. I mean, everybody's complaining about it being hot today, and I've been a lot worse, you know, especially coming from Columbia, South Carolina. But I love it. You know, I love the schedule that Coach B has. I love the way we structure things, just little things that he does throughout the schedule with our kids that have nothing to do with football, you know. I mean, we're stressing them football-wise and stressing them in practice, but I would say the schedule is a little bit of an adjustment, but I love it. Like we do a lot of really good things here that I've never done before in my career. But I mean, that goes back to Coach B's had 16 years as a head coach, so it's pretty cool to see his style.
What about the schedule is different or impactful for the guys? You think?
I think a lot, just how much time he spends with them. I mean, he has you know some player meetings that first year player meetings, and then he has meetings with our team, and we go through football one-on-one. And heck, I'm learning. I'm kind of embarrassed that I'm 18 years as a coach, and I was like, golly, I've actually never heard that or thought of that before. So, you know, he's not just teaching the kids; he's teaching us too. And that's one of the reasons why I came here. Is I knew he'd make me a better coach, and hopefully a coordinator one day, and hopefully one day a head coach. But he's teaching everybody in the building, not just the players.
Sounds like Captain Jones and Colin Dixon had strong springs.
Yes.
What have you seen from them going into the fall? What can they bring to the competition?
Yeah, the first thing is confidence. And Captain Jones is playing with a confidence that he didn't have back in the first part of the spring. And when you have confidence, whether you think you are or you don't, man, like you better think you are when you go out there. You know, you better have confidence in yourself. So he's done a good job with that. Colin Dixon is just as solid as they come. And again, just like I said, man, we just want guys that can go out there and make plays and be consistent, and there's no drop off. And we're getting to that point. The guys are working really hard. I'm really proud of the group.
Seems like you have a lot of guys, especially on the outside.
Yes,
What's the rotation look like for that? Is there enough plays to go around for everybody?
Oh yeah, you know, we love to have a good group of guys that we can rotate in a game. You know, through all the Cortland Suttons and the Xavier Legates that I've coached, man, they bless their heart. We were playing them 70-something plays a game, and after you study it, after 45, 50 plays, you start to get diminishing returns on some stuff because they're just exhausted. So the more we can rotate guys and the more we can keep everybody fresh, that's what we're trying to do.
What kind of a camp is Ashton Holland's having?
It's a really good camp. Again, another guy that's been here and is highly intelligent. And we have smart guys. I'm just telling you, it is impressive because we put a lot on him. Coach Lundy stressed him mentally, and he's doing really well. Made a really good catch today for a score. And again, just the confidence, man. The more plays you make, the more confidence you get, and then you go play better.
For Malik, drops were a little bit of a problem. How's his hands look?
He's done better. He's worked really hard. They're constantly doing ball drills, constantly doing jugs. They were still doing jugs when I walked in here. And just for Malik, it's just the focus of being here. We talk about it all the time in our program. It's one of the things you see on the door when you walk in is just be here. And I think he's done a better job of focusing on like each day. Hey, look, I'm gonna take this next hour and I'm gonna get better, right? And not just looking at the full day of what he's got ahead, but just focus on the moment and focus where he is. He's done a better job of that.